Welcome in, everybody. Before we get into this early afternoon update, I'm going to go over a quick synopsis of what's transpiring here and why I came on. We're going to be talking very heavily into Bitcoin, and the reason why is because we're trying to flip the Gaussian channel bullish for the first time since December of 2020. And I know I never talk about this or this indicator, but it's actually a very important one to flip as it's less of a lagging indicator. So I'll show you exactly what that is and exactly the importance of actually flipping this to bullish. Now that could constitute a drop down here still to roughly 29,500. We know a technical target could be 29,192 if we were to break down. But as of right now, this is an important flip if we could flip the Gaussian channel. I'll show some terminology of what that means. And like I said, this is the first time since December 2020 that this is possibly happening. So this is very, very important for the rest of crypto. If you're looking for XRP, I did a very in-depth update this morning. I'm not going to attempt to do anything better until the live this afternoon with XRP. So if you're looking for that, I implore you to watch that update, as in the last 2 hours, it's got about 1,300 views already. So I greatly appreciate that and you sharing it and pushing it through the YouTube algorithm. But now we firmly need to focus on Bitcoin and what's transpiring here. So we have to see exactly what's entailed. Remember, make sure you use positivity over negativity on this Sunday. And remember to give thanks to the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. At least do a silent prayer for the community or yourself. But we're doing positivity over negativity. We're trying to push the positive mindset and the acceptance instead of playing the victim. So we're winners here. So we'll make winning plays in the most stressful of times. But that also means is we're going to find anomalies like this with Bitcoin. And I'm going to pass it forward to you. Good early afternoon, 1:22 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Sunday, July 16th, 2023. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So the Gaussian channel indicator is a technical indicator which defines price trends in the financial markets by minimizing the lag. The indicator is attributed to Carl Friedrich Gauss, one of the greatest mathematicians of all time. So a Gaussian channel indicator could be a technical analysis tool used to analyze the price movement of an asset or financial instrument. It might be constructed using statistical methods and could be related to the concept of Gaussian distribution, normal distribution, which is characterized by a symmetrical bell-shaped curve. One possible interpretation could be using the Gaussian distribution to create a channel around a moving average or some other central line based on historical price data. This channel may be used to visualize potential areas of support and resistance or to assess the volatility of the price. So let's go into the Bitcoin chart. I'm using a separate one. I'll show you my actual Bitcoin chart, but I have a separate one with this indicator on as well, just so we can see it without all of the lines and all of my stuff in between. So let's get into that right now. Okay, so we're going to take this into the daily time frame because I'm not interested into the 4 hourly. I'm only interested in what's transpiring in the daily, the longer time frame, and the weekly. Because what I'm talking about, we're attempting to do in the weekly for the first time in a very long time. In the daily, if we were to get a proper hold here or we break out and actually prove that we're on top of this indicator, this would be the first time we've broken out of this since December of 2020. The last time we had a bullish bounce off of this to start a breakout, we had to come all the way back here. Let me get my arrow. We would have to come all the way back here, get on top of Bitcoin, and we finally got on top and held right here. It's actually October of 2020, and then we rode it all the way up, and then we use it as rejection all the way down. Now we finally created what looks like a W reversal, looks like an inverted head and shoulders left arm, creating a head down to a right arm. Now it's starting to pop out, and if this gets on top of this indicator in the daily, you can expect it to come all the way back up here somewhere. First 38 to 40,000 like we've been talking about, after clearing the technical target of 35,040 on a break up. But this indicator, as you can see, we're on top of the daily, but the importance here is not the daily, it's the weekly. On the weekly, on the Gaussian indicator, it's the first time we could flip this bullish. We're actually on the bullish side of it for the first time, finally, on Sunday here. And the reason I waited till Sunday is because this weekly is going to close, and as long as we close over 30,000, roughly 29,446, we will flip the Gaussian indicator bullish for the first time in the weekly. since we did it all the way back. Holy crap, in the weekly, it's been all the way back until April of 2020 if we want to play it safe. The last time we flipped this was May of 2020 in the weekly, and we're about to have our first bullish close over the top of it and hold. We did it up here on the breakout still. We're talking about to confirm a re-breakout after a bearish trend. This was already pushing bullish, but this was our breakout attempt, our last time we held it to push out. We could actually say the breakout happened earlier, but see how we came back through the indicator and had to consolidate? So we're going to use the May of 2020 back in here when it first bounced out. Actually, I like it better right here. So we held it July of 2020. So we'll see. But 2020 is the last time this indicator allowed us to have a parabolic spike on a Bitcoin. Ever since we've been rejected when we came back through, we got a consolidation, bounce back up, but then rejected. Rejected, followed it bearish. Now for the first time in the weekly, we're above this since 2020. This is a huge indicator, and it looks all but certain we're going to close it tonight, as it looks like we flipped the Gaussian channel for the first time since 2020, early 2020. This would be huge news. This would be a huge hold here on 4 consecutive weekly candles now. We had a wick, breakdown, push back up. A little bit of a breakdown, push back up. A little bit less breakdown. This is a prototypical breakout forming here, folks. I'm telling you, if this happens and this weekly holds strong here and this holds true, this is huge. We have not done this since 2020. So now let's get into our actual chart. I'm not always going to show that indicator, but I will have it on when it's relevant, like now. So this might make it a little sloppy though on this chart because I've got so much stuff on here, but we'll see what it looks like. It's not so bad. But as you can see, we're on top of the channel. We're not going to do it in the weekly on this chart though. We're going to the 4-hourly. As you can see in the 4-hourly, we're on the bottom of the channel, but we're trying to attempt to hold on the weekly. So this looks like a W reverse on a retest of the bottom of the channel. I don't pay attention to this on the 4-hourly just because I'm looking at higher time frames. I didn't talk about it when it was in the 4-hourly. It wasn't big enough for me yet. So here is the Gaussian channel, and it's the DW if you want to use it, FYI. But I'll put it back on there at a later date. But I don't like to use the indicators. I just know, I take a look at them because I know mathematics and I know, I'm a numbers person. So when I see something, I have to research it until I figure out what the heck I'm seeing. I mean, I guess we could keep it on just for now. I decided to take off the indicator just so we could see the chart, so we can see where the pattern's at. So right now on a technical breakdown, we could technically come down to 29,182, but as we can see, Bitcoin did pull back up here in the shorter time frames here a little bit today. So it looks like a W reversal is being created, but it is still a bear flag that's formed. If we get a rejection, even if we come over here and the rejection happens over here, it pulled up a little bit to about 29,280. But a rejection in any of these areas would be a technical breakdown. But as I've stated, we could flip this indicator for the first time since 2020 with a weekly hold over 29,400, and the candle closes in just about, we're getting close here. We've got 6 hours and 22 minutes here, so we could be seeing the first bullish signal here with the Gaussian indicator, or the pattern, or the channel, since what was it, about April or May of 2020. So pay attention to this. This could be a significant breakout here. Significant. And our first target on a breakout would be 35,040. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. If you got anything out of this update, please make sure you hit that like button. If you've gotten any knowledge out of this, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Get more people in here by sharing this so that they can see exactly what's going on and the truth about Bitcoin. And until the afternoon live, I thank each and every one of you for tuning in. Make sure you use positivity over negativity. And if you'd like to support my content, join Tom's Army. It's the only way to show support for me, unless you send a super chat. And I don't do any kind of paid promotions or anything like that. So you have a free viewing experience.